What up?
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome here to the Experiences coverage of Awesome Con 2025. It's me, Michael, and I'm standing here with the co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mr. Kevin Eastman. And real quick, I want to say something. When you were here 10 years ago, I was the very last person that got to meet you.
No way.
You signed this card for me.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to show the card real quick.
I love those.
And hilariously, on the back, it says Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
That's right.
Because of the UK not allowing ninjas and stuff like that.
Yep.
So real quick, we only got a few questions with you. What was it like for you to create it and get it to where you are now with The Lost Ronin, which is an amazing series?
Thank you very much. No, it was sort of the perfect timing for that when the property, Pete and I originally came up with the idea in 1987 as sort of an ending, sort of something set 30 years in the future, and then just never got to illustrate it. So here we, so actually, the original set was set in 2017. And so then, by the time we started working on it, it was 2018. It's kind of funny. But no, it was great to bring it full circle with something written directly for the original fans. A universe within itself, but leaning towards the Mirage universe. But the acceptance and the reception for it was far more than we ever dreamed. We just wanted to do a great story. We had a great art team. Tom Walsh, I worked with him on 100 issues of the Turtles. Those scores of brothers, we just had a wonderful team bringing the whole thing together, and the response has been overwhelming. And it's just a joy.
I love how when the first Lost Ronin came out in hardcover, it was impossible to find.
It was crazy. That was awesome. Something that was amazing.
Now, going from comics to animation, Turtles obviously has a very vast library of animation. What was it like for you to first start it off in the late 80s and now to where it's at now?
Well, that was really such a cool transition for us because we wrote the original comic book, the black and white comic book, for Peter and I intended for an older audience, again, much like Last Ronin. And so when we did this transition, we worked with a company to bring it into an animated, much younger kids version. We changed some things. Pete and I came up with the idea for the different colored bandanas. We softened some of the, we knew we're not writing for an adult audience. We're writing for, an audience of 5 to 7 years old. So the things that we changed, we owned and controlled the property. So we were able to change the things that we felt comfortable with and keep these other things the same. So see that transition work. And that really when things ballooned up to where we've now had animated movies like the 2007 Kevin Monroe movie, the Mutant Mayhem movie of last year, the 2012 Nickelodeon animated series. All of those are sort of turtle universes within themselves, and we love them. So it's
now you mentioned movies. The live action cast is here celebrating the 35th anniversary of the movie. What's it like to know that this movie that was done in 1990 and also the last project that Jim Henson actually worked on?
That's true.
What's it like to know that this film still resonates with everyone to this day?
It was it's back in the day when we were part of it. Again, Pete and I had still full say and control over what was being done with the Turtles and whatnot. But to me, it was a perfect storm of having such an amazing director like Steve Barron, who was friends with Jim Henson and brought Jim Henson in. He was like the icing on the cake that if those costumes didn't work, it wouldn't have worked. So having Henson there was amazing. We had Todd Langdon, who actually wrote the script. There was just so many, the perfect cast, Elias Koteas, Judith Hogue, just everything was a perfect storm. So I'm not surprised. We were happy it had the reception and did as well as it did, but it's no surprise it actually still resonates the way it does today. It's a great movie. It's my favorite Turtle movie.
Awesome. And it's actually funny. I actually do a hockey podcast with Toru Masamune, who was the Shredder in the 2014 Michael Bay produced film. So it just tells you how long Turtles has really resonated over the years. And it all really stems from the animated series, the comics, and that movie. Last question for you. How have you been enjoying Awesome Con this year?
It's living up to its name. It has actually been truly awesome. We have this wonderful group of fans here that are coming to hang out and doing this and make me feel so much at home. I love hearing their stories and their personal experiences, and what the Turtles mean to them is always heartwarming and wonderful. But hopefully it won't be another 10 years where we come back, because we had such a great time. So we're looking forward to the next time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you.
And this has been Kevin Eastman. Join the Kevin Eastman fan club online today.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys.